Fredric Dannen, Hitmen, Power Brokers and Fast Money Inside the Music Business. Prepare to dive into the cutthroat world of the music industry during one of its most transformative eras. In Hitmen, Power Brokers and Fast Money Inside the Music Business, Fredric Dannen unveils the intricate web of influence, power struggles, and financial tactics that reshaped the record industry from the late 1960s to the 1990s. This summary explores pivotal figures like Clive Davis and Walter Yetnikoff, whose vision and audacity led to meteoric rises and catastrophic downfalls. From the emergence of rock as a formidable cultural force to fierce rivalries between industry titans and the ominous influence of independent promoters, each chapter offers a behind-the-scenes look at the deals and dilemmas that defined an era. Join us as we unravel the dramatic real-life stories of industry giants and provocateurs who challenged norms, pushing boundaries to capitalize on the burgeoning musical revolution.
The rise of Clive Davis. As the late 1960s unfolded, the music industry was not just experiencing change, it was undergoing a revolution. Rock and roll matured into a cultural powerhouse, and albums became as vital as singles. A new generation of socially aware fans embraced artists like Jimi Hendrix, Jefferson Airplane, and the Grateful Dead, searching for meaning beyond the music. Enter Clive Davis, a young lawyer who recognized the seismic shifts happening around him. Taking charge at CBS Records in 1967, Davis was determined to ride the rock wave, pushing CBS away from its traditional easy listening roots. He envisioned a future where CBS could stand at the pinnacle of the industry, and by the early 1970s, he had turned that vision into reality. The 1967 Monterey Pop Festival marked a turning point for Davis. Awestruck by the electrifying performances of Janis Joplin and others, he sent his team to San Francisco to capture the essence of this burgeoning movement. CBS quickly signed acts like Big Brother and the Holding Company, Santana, and Chicago. The results were stunning, with Big Brother's Cheap Thrills striking gold and albums by Santana and Chicago flying off the shelves. Blood, Sweat and Tears also became a runaway success. By 1970, CBS Records had tripled its profits, and its market share exploded. Buoyed by these triumphs, Davis pursued a bold strategy of attracting major artists from rival labels, including Neil Diamond, Pink Floyd, and Herbie Hancock, offering lucrative contracts like a groundbreaking $4.25 million deal for Diamond. He bet on CBS's strong distribution to deliver returns, and his wager paid off. The company continued to expand, though Davis's growing ego mirrored his rising success. Behind the scenes, not everyone cheered Davis's methods. His lavish spending prompted grumbling among accountants and colleagues, with some doubting his infallible knack for choosing hits. Friction emerged between Davis and CBS's new president, Arthur Taylor, as the once steady growth stalled. In May 1973, Davis's career at CBS abruptly ended amid allegations of financial misconduct, a dramatic fall from grace he vigorously denied as legal woes entangled him further. With Davis out, CBS found itself at a crossroads. Seeking stability, the label turned to Walter Yetnikoff, a restrained lawyer who offered a stark contrast to Davis's flamboyance, hoping to navigate a challenging new era. Music industry mavericks. Under the helm of Walter Yetnikoff, CBS Records witnessed a seismic shift, heralding a new era marked by audacious executives driven by deals. Yetnikoff discarded his initial reserved demeanor for a larger-than-life presence, aiming to surpass Warner Communications, CBS's primary competitor. His groundbreaking move in 1976 saw him lure James Taylor from Warner Brothers Records with a lucrative $1 million per album agreement. Despite a tumultuous beginning, with Taylor almost swayed by Warner's last-minute persuasion, Yetnikoff's tenacity prevailed, securing the deal. Yetnikoff's triumph was soon met with a retaliatory blow from Warner's M.O. Austin, who signed Paul Simon, a leading CBS artist. This loss stung Yetnikoff not just professionally but personally, intensified by his disdain for Simon. However, He found solace upon discovering Simon's lawyer also represented Billy Joel, fueling fierce bidding wars between CBS and Warner. The fierce rivalry saw both companies investing vast sums into established artists, pushing costs to unprecedented heights. In the wake of these high-stakes battles, CBS embraced renowned figures like Paul McCartney in the Beach Boys, albeit at financial losses. One contentious deal granted McCartney the sought-after Frank Loesser song catalog, ruffling feathers within CBS's own publishing ranks. Many within the company nostalgically recalled the days when CBS focused on nurturing emerging talent rather than engaging in cutthroat competition to secure big names. The rivalry crescendoed in the elaborate saga surrounding the band Boston. As their awaited third album encountered delays due to Tom Scholz's perfectionism, CBS initiated a colossal $60 million lawsuit. When Scholz eyed a shift to MCA, Yetnikoff, alongside David Geffen and MCA's Irving Azoff, maneuvered to thwart the move. Despite personal animosities, these industry powerhouses banded together, yet their alliance remained precarious, with competition looming at every turn. This turbulent period epitomized a transformative shift within the music industry, swapping out the old guard of gentlemanly record men with tough, enduring negotiators. Geffen and Azoff, emerging from artist management, ascended as industry titans. Handshake deals gave way to tense, dramatic negotiations. CBS, guided by Yetnikoff's vision, veered away from nurturing emerging talent, opting to acquire established artists ambitiously. By the early 1980s, Yetnikoff secured his legacy as the maestro of deal-making, reshaping the entire landscape of the record industry. Power behind the music. By the close of the 1970s, CBS was navigating some financial turbulence, especially glaring after the challenges of 1979 when their earnings nearly plummeted by half. One pressing issue on their balance sheet was the exorbitant spending on independent promotion, particularly to secure radio airplay for their artists. Amid this fiscal storm, Dick Asher, the astute deputy president of CBS Records with a sharp legal mind and marine discipline, proposed a bold experiment, attempt to catapult a single into the top 40 without the costly aid of independent promoters. Asher was determined to address what he saw as a significant leak in the music industry's finances, the stranglehold of independent promoters. These middlemen, wielding formidable power over radio playlists, ensured their services were indispensable, costing the industry a staggering $60 to $80 million annually by the mid-1980s. To test his hypothesis, Asher chose Pink Floyd's hit, Another Brick in the Wall, Part 2. Despite Pink Floyd's considerable success and reputation on album-oriented rock stations, Asher sought to see if the track could penetrate LA's fiercely competitive top 40 scene sans external promoters. The moment seemed auspicious. The band was gearing up for their much-awaited Wall tour in Los Angeles, with tickets selling rapidly. Given the buzz, Asher optimistically anticipated radio stations would jump at the chance to play the track. Yet, curiously, none of the four major top 40 LA stations obliged. It became evident the hurdle was not just the track's appeal. Asher soon uncovered the real barrier, an entrenched network of independent promoters behaving like a cartel. Controlling access to playlists, these promoters made their terms clear, and in LA, that meant no airplay without their services. Confronted with this inflexible system, Asher had little choice but to yield. Once CBS re-engaged these promoters, the transformation was swift. Another Brick in the Wall soared up LA's charts in mere days. Although Asher's endeavor faltered, it illuminated a stark industry reality. The ultimate power players were not the artists or labels, but the under-the-radar promoters dictating airwave access, extracting their due to unlock success. Power struggles at CBS. At CBS Records, Dick Asher was the steadfast lieutenant who skillfully managed to navigate financial adversity through strategic cost-cutting and contract renegotiations, streamlining operations in the process. Yet as the company rebounded in the early 80s, a fierce power struggle emerged between Asher and Walter Yetnikoff, bolstered by his alliances with influential figures like Frank Dillio. DiLeo's masterminding of the Thriller campaign for Michael Jackson only further solidified this network. Concurrently, Yetnikoff experienced personal upheavals as his marriage disintegrated. He became embroiled in a high-profile relationship with Linda "Boom Boom" Heeman, whose audacious nature sparked both intrigue and concern within CBS's inner circles. Her presence at industry events raised eyebrows and created ripples of controversy. The long-standing tensions between Yetnikoff and Asher reached a boiling point in 1983. Despite Asher's success in orchestrating a financial turnaround for CBS, he was unexpectedly dismissed in April, ending a notable 17-year tenure. His departure was met with indifference from the industry, and Epic Records even marked the occasion with celebratory champagne. In contrast, Yetnikoff enjoyed his moment of triumph, consolidating his power by signing the Rolling Stones and lavishly celebrating his 50th birthday. That year, CBS Records boasted record profits, largely owing to Asher's earlier initiatives, worthier yet largely uncredited. Yetnikoff's supremacy appeared unassailable as he took to the Grammy stage alongside Michael Jackson, showcasing his formidable influence. While Yetnikoff reveled in his victories, Asher found himself isolated, bewildered by the harshness of CBS's actions. Former allies and associates were soon purged in a seemingly orchestrated sweep. Yet, beneath the surface of Yetnikoff's achievements lurked uncertainty. CBS increasingly depended on costly artist deals, faced pressures from independent promoters, and contended with Yetnikoff's increasingly erratic behavior. The downfall of Dick Asher signaled the close of an era and the onset of a precarious new phase for CBS Records. The sustainability of an empire founded on bold contracts and extravagant practices was uncertain, and the challenges looming on the horizon hinted at the potential turbulence ahead. Reshaping a troubled industry. In the autumn of 1985, Polygram faced a daunting challenge of reversing years of financial decline. The company made a bold move by appointing Dick Asher as president of its U.S. branch. Asher, known for his tenacity, embarked on a challenging mission to slash costs and rejuvenate the business. He trimmed the excessive artist roster, closed unneeded warehouses, and brought in trusted allies from his CBS days. This strategic shakeup, combined with the explosive popularity of heavy metal and bands like Bon Jovi, marked the beginning of a turnaround for Polygram. Concurrently, the record industry grappled with exorbitant promotional costs. Independent promoters, or indies, like Joe Iskro and Fred DiCipio were charging hefty fees to guarantee radio play, effectively sidelining smaller labels. The industry's aggressive tactics had backfired, creating a monster they could no longer control. The situation reached a boiling point in February 1986, when NBC News revealed a shocking connection between these promoters and organized crime. Undercover footage captured Iskro hobnobbing with mafia boss John Gotti, sending shockwaves through the industry. In a swift response, major labels cut ties with these promoters to save face. Iskro, witnessing the collapse of his empire, retaliated by suing the labels for $75 million on antitrust grounds, a futile effort as his influence waned. While the indies were sidelined, the practice of pay-for-play endured, now ingeniously disguised as artist management expenses and tour support, quietly deducted from musicians' royalties. Amidst this turmoil, CBS faced its internal battles. Walter Yetnikoff, the infamously bold CBS executive, clashed repeatedly with the new CBS chief Larry Tisch. Their volatile relationship culminated in a fiery confrontation, urging Yetnikoff to orchestrate a massive $2 billion sale to Sony in 1988. The deal vastly enriched Yetnikoff but failed to calm his destructive tendencies. His drinking spiraled, leading him to rehab in 1989, yet this proved a temporary fix. Yetnikoff, unrestrained by sobriety, continued his reckless path. He made offensive remarks about David Geffen, antagonized his new Japanese bosses, and rained insults upon Sony's newly acquired film studio. His deteriorating relationships with marquee artists like Bruce Springsteen and Michael Jackson only hastened his decline. By 1990, Yetnikoff's power had eroded, and his tenure at CBS ended, leaving him as one of the industry's most notorious figures, having orchestrated his own downfall. As Yetnikov exited the stage, the music industry faced a new era in the 1990s. New technologies and shifting consumer habits altered the landscape, replacing the flamboyance of the 80s with a more corporate-driven approach. Despite the changing times, the lessons of both triumph and adversity from the past decades would leave a lasting imprint on the industry's evolution.
Through the captivating accounts in Hit Men, readers gain a profound understanding of how ambition and avarice steered the music business through a period of unprecedented change. The book concludes with Yetnikov's fall from grace, marking the end of an age characterized by larger-than-life personalities and lavish excesses. Dannen's narrative illustrates how these figures shaped and often skewed the industry's values, pushing for lucrative deals at the expense of artistic development. As the 1990s ushered in new challenges, the lessons and legacies of the past loomed large. This story serves as a poignant reminder of the cyclical nature of power and the enduring impact these industry architects had on how music was marketed, consumed, and valued. Their stories are not just chronicles of business exploits, but reflections on the fleeting nature of influence in the ever-evolving world of music.